We be about to break down in the stock market here as the markets are teetering on support currently with bears pushing at the 600 handle on the Qs and 680 on the spiders here. Post options X. We got Nvidia earnings this week, PPI on Friday, but some fireworks coming out today. Spiders down 1%, Qs down 1.3. Although I find it's interesting structurally, the Qs basically just touched Friday's low, and the spiders actually went below it. So we still continue to see these kind of signs of the Qs even being down a little bit more, but having a slight structural advantage versus the spiders. And you can see the Russell today actually has come off the lows pretty nicely here. But the Russell today down 1.58, well below those lows here. So a little bit of changing here. I've been following QQQ versus SPY really all day long to see if there's any slight hint of changes here. But bottom line is, I've been saying quite a while here, and then said this morning, specifically in the live, bears have to do damage here, and so far they've definitely got a head start. You have my attention now. The reason why is because you have you have the down move, little double bottom, which by the way, we picked the low off this in NQ perfectly. Actually, still got the low of the day on this right now. And again, if you want to get in on that, you can for really cheap. It's actually a no-brainer. 60% off here until Friday at midnight, 30% off swing trades. Absolutely knocking it out of the park here. And these levels are working out really well. But nonetheless, little double bottom there. And what got my attention here is that you had the lack of follow through, right? So I'll use the ES here. But you can see usually if you're going to get like a WV type look, the 618 will be about as low as it goes. And then you'll get that higher low there. And we did not see that. So the market has come down. I do think part of this is like some put monetization as well at the 600 handle. But bulls have their work cut out, right? They have to push this. They have to push us off here. Now we have not. Again, technically, we have not broken support, right? That's still has not happened. I know it feels like it has, but we still have not done that. And right now, I'll try and take you into the close, but we're pretty close here. We haven't. We're below yesterday's low by like a couple points. The Qs I don't think are going to close below yesterday's low unless they flush it hard here in the last 10 minutes. So it looks like they're going to try and save that. That would be a key psychological, thing here. If I was a bear, I'd want to see that. I'd want to see us lose that low impulsively. I think it was a little odd that we had all that whipsaw last night. I thought it was, I was kind of thinking, and that's what I was saying earlier. Like that's why the WV, the failure of that was surprising, because you had the bears take us down here. I knew we weren't going to break out today, so I'm not surprised we had that pump there. But by the way, it was a nice gain on ES this morning as well. Two really solid winners here, but the you had the big, right? We had all that action Friday, right? They hit this level one, two, like three times, and they couldn't keep it down, right? And then they just made a beeline here. It fizzled out, came up here, and we went straight down and it fizzled out. So a lot of air here, and when we were looking at the spot, I was like, wow, this could get squeezed here if we can push through 70, and we did not. So like the structure here is just kind of not what you'd want to see from a bear, but at the same time, the price action is. And overall, the other points here that you can point to here, and this gets my attention, as you guys know, is XLF is very weak. So down 3.5. Private credit, COF, AXP, those are getting hit. Blackstone, new 52-week lows. It is off the lows, though. I could see that getting a rebound here, at least for a day or two. Jeffries, Eris, right? Everybody's knows all about this, now, but nobody cared 6 months ago when I was talking about it. But again, this kind of lends into why I've, like a lot of people, you guys are telling me like, oh, you got to be short, Aaron, you got to be short, you got to be short. I was talking about this stuff 6 months ago before anybody knew what Jeffries even was. And guess what? The market's sideways still. It's very hard for the market to go down just in general. It's literally rigged to go higher. That's why it's like you guys think I'm a perma bull, which is so funny to me because like 6 months ago they were calling me a perma bear because I was calling for a pullback. But it's just It's just comical. But the overall point here, though, is that you have that private credit weakness, which definitely gets my attention. The big problem here for bears that I see right now, it's a big one too, is this thing. So you're still inside of Friday's range, and it's like if you didn't know any better, I would be like, this is ready to fucking like trend. Like look at that daily. I just screwed up the chart up, but look at that daily chart. Like that looks like it wants to trend here. Um, and you would say, well, SMH will catch up. It'll catch up to the downside. It's not how it's supposed to work. The SMH should lead to the downside. If you're a bear and you want to look for a down move, you want the SMH to be the first one down, not the last one. Um, and for Nvidia earnings, look, it's going to be like I'm not saying nothing burger, but dude, it's 180 and 200. Okay, like it's not. There's so much event volatility attached to that thing. So that's why I said earlier, if you're a bear here, don't wait, right? Don't wait. Just break it down today. Like, well, we need to wait for Nvidia. No, you don't. Just break it down today. If bears are so strong, they should just break it down, right? You've had every excuse here. You've had every bear headline you could ask for. So you need to do that, and then you can go down like this, and then on Nvidia you can bounce and then just sell the rip, right? That's really all you need to do. It's not it's not that hard, not that complicated. Sometimes things are a lot. We make them more complicated than they are, but yeah, bears got my attention. But don't be surprised if we rebound tomorrow if we don't break this support here. I know I know it seems insane, but like you still have a bull inside bar here on the daily. He did reject, he did pull back off the 50. So again, basically, who's winning? Day traders and premium sellers. We've talked about GPIQ. If you guys are making money on that, let me know. Or JEPI. These guys are doing very well right now. But these levels, I mean, day trading has been on fire here. For my swings, it's still kind of I'm still positioned very defensively. I did add a little bit of beta, not a lot, but I mean, I had to pick up some IGV. I mean, like you're in a double bottom here, and then like make fun of me if you want, but like this is where you're gonna, if there is a spot you ever take a shot at something like this is it right here. Especially Salesforce earnings coming up this week. Stock's been absolutely hammered. IV's probably cranked here. There's a 786. Not looking too bad. We did see a level on CrowdStrike. Yeah, right there, 340. Got there. It almost got there. So there's a level on CrowdStrike. Why don't you take a look at that? We'll look at let's just look at it now. So you see the SPY 680 wall there. Let's take a look at CrowdStrike for this weekend because somebody brought this up today in the room. Yeah. So that might be a decent. We'll have to keep CrowdStrike on the watch here. So anyway, yeah, software sucks. It's all going to zero, and it'll never recover again or close green ever again. And AI is going to destroy everything. Microsoft down 383. Amazon, Meta, both weaker on the day. Tesla was weak. It is coming off the lows here. Has room for a higher low. Google's still kind of a leader. Apple very strong. We talked about 270. There it is. 26943. That was an easy one. It looks like the Qs are going to hold yesterday's low, and I know they're going to hold that 600 wall. So we'll see if those puts get monetized. Hey, don't be surprised if this rallies tomorrow. Don't be shocked. SMH, we talked about that. IGV going to zero. Will never rally ever again because bears are so strong, and we'll never see a bull market ever again in our lifetimes. Down transport's down 3% here. It is holding the 20, but I don't like that lower high so soon. So a little soft there. Transport starting to peter out a little bit. TLT was strong again. We talked about this earlier. I think I said Friday, whenever the hell it was. I was like, that's actually not bad. I mean, it was red, but to be red and then do that, close off the lows here with that news, that's pretty good. You test the 100 MA. What I would want to see here now is a new contract today on ZB, but what I want to see now is just basing and let that 20 MA just catch up to price. If it does that and we're still flagging, I think TLT can have another leg up. So bonds actually acting okay. XHB down 2% here, holding the 20-day, and then IYR tried to rally early but kind of down 9 cents. Still holding up though. This might have finally broken out. Let's see. We mentioned fins, XBD down. Here's the positive. KRE just, it's into the 50 day, but there's no real like technical damage here, if you ask me. At least not yet. And HYG, down 12 cents, but it's not up. It's not like the end of the world. It's not like it's barfing out or anything. And you can see LQD doing the same. LQD is actually green. JNK, yeah, down 12 cents. So spreads are at least holding up here. And the thing with Iran too, come on, guys. Like, come on. Does this look like a market here that's expecting World War III tomorrow? And oil's flat. Oil's flat. XLE, there's the bell. XLE up 27 cents. Came off the highs. XOP, like gap and crap, basically. OIH, possible little shooting star topping tail. Trend is still up nicely, though. So I know everybody's got an opinion on it. I'm just saying, based on what I'm seeing with oil, it doesn't look imminent. Let's see what we did to the close. So they saved it into the close. So, again, I think, I know it sounds absurd, but I know it looks bad, but if bears are so strong, why did you just break the 100 day? You couldn't close it. Now, maybe they gap it down tomorrow and it happens, but then again, like I said, you got my attention here, but like you're telling me you can't, but Microsoft, if you told me Microsoft was down this much, right? And like and all this stuff, and QQQ still can't get below 600. I don't know. Maybe we stay in this range for another 6 months. By the way, because that just seems to be the most pain here. But by the way, I mentioned this earlier. Let's use ES. We'll go to the weekly. I brought this up before, and I'm telling you, I've told you before that. What am I doing here? We've been in this range long enough now. It's not going to be easy when we break out of it. It is going to hurt a lot of people. 5.4 is your Bollinger Band width based on this measurement. The last time it was that low was like August 2015. Why do I bring that up? Let's flip over to TradingView here because I can show you the percentages. Bitcoin down today. I still think that's kind of going to do what I've been talking about, which is this kind of setup here. But I don't even care about that because this is important. So we're gonna do a little deep dive here on this. So you can make the case that right here, right there, drag it over. This is where we broke out, right? Of that range. 59 bars, 90 days, right? Now, if we just take this even more, like we broke out right here of that prior range, we've been in this range here, 113 bars, 166 days. And it's about a 6% range, okay? So if we just say we broke out right there, out of the range. We'll say right here even. About 135 bars, 195. Like we're getting, basically what I'm trying to illustrate here. We're getting close to this level of like absolute max frustration here on the spiders. And again, I use 2015 as an example because it's very similar. You have this sell range, break out, but no follow through. Another range, break down to the low end of this range, right? Back inside of this box, down, double bottom, right? Stop run of a lifetime, right? It's just, I'm getting the sense that this is how this is going to play out too. What if they slam it to 665, right? And we like 1, 2, 3 days like that. You honestly say that you'd still hold long right there? But what if we just do the same thing we did then and we go back up, right? It's not going to be easy. because whichever direction it goes in, people are going to chase that hard, or they're going to get stopped out on which either side of the tape they're on. Anyway, here, let's see. Looks like futures are active here, up about 30 cents. So they saved that little 600. Let's see if they, again, I know that some puts were held over the weekend for geopol reasons. And it's not a coincidence we went down to 600 QQQ. So if those got monetized, maybe we do rally tomorrow. We'll see. Lastly, precious metals, positive for the market. Nice rebound there. Gold up 3.4. Silver, beautiful move, up 7.43. I don't know how much higher SLV goes than 80 this week, but I'll take it. Nice move. Platinum, flat to positive. Palladium, flat to positive. Copper, yeah, red. So anyway, that's it. We'll wrap it up here. We'll see what we get tomorrow. We'll see if we get an epic lifetime crash or not. But anyway, you guys don't forget to come find me on carnivoretrades.com. Subscribe to the channel. We'll see you guys all tomorrow.